All right, so now we'll do a passage. All right, we'll do a passage three. We'll do a passage three, a new stage in the study and teaching of history. Social science passages are difficult, honestly. They're difficult. Why they're difficult? Because I believe they're more difficult because they're like abstract, really. Usually quite abstract. That makes them more difficult. All right. So for hundreds of years, historians have relied on written and printed documents to provide the bulk of their materials, right? Source materials, as they have largely communicated with students and wider public by writing books and journals. Today, however, the printed word is being superseded again, replaced again by diversity of forms of communication, above all, moving images on video or film. Hop, yaqingacha bularni source'i printed media bo'lgan. Hozirga kelib endi moving image bilan film bo'layotgan ekan. All right? Tarixni o'rganayotganlarga, tarixni teach qilayotganlarga qanaqa o'zgarishlar. Keling qaraymiz. You may use an ELTS more than once degan ikkita savol turi bor. To'g'risi sal endi bosh og'riq bo'ladi. Sababi mana bundan keyin har biriga qarab chiqaveramiz. Let's see. Lekin oson jihati ikkita savol turi mana. Qanaqadir balans bor. Passage 3 da 3 ta savol turi, passage 1 da bitta savol turi. Right? Passage 1 da 3 ta savol turi, passage 2 da bizada ikkita savol turi. So I got an email. What's that? Xo'p, endi hammasini o'qiymiz, hamma savollarni o'qiymiz. Va har bitta savoldan keyword topamiz, to'g'rimi? Har bitta savoldan keyword topsak bo'ldi. All right, let's go. An overview of the range of methods that have been used over time to document history. An overview degan so'z kalit so'z bizada. Overview of the range of methods, some kalit so'z, that have been used to document history. The main reason why many historians are unwilling to use films in their work, reference to some differences between oral and written communication, and how most citizens today gain an understanding of history. How current student events are sometimes captured for future audiences. Mention of the fact that advantages of film are greater than disadvantages. Advantages are greater than disadvantages. I guess obvious, this one. The claim that there's no official title for the film-based historical work. There's no official title. Reference to the active role audience plays when watching films. Auditorium role haqida. List of requirements that historians see as obstacles to their use of film to record history. List of requirements that historians see as obstacles to their use of film recording. Requirement ladder. The needs of students in school have led to improvements in the teaching of history. Yani o'quvchilarning ehtiyojlari olib keldi deyapti. Academic and popular historians have different attitudes towards the value of innovations in the communication. Academic historian bilan popular historians nima degani? Popularize qiladi-ku. O'zi tarixchi bo'lishi mumkin. Bu tarixni faqat bunaqa kuldirib, masalan tushuntiradi. Akademik u seriozn odam. Seriozn odam degani uni fan qilib shug'ullanadi. O'shalarning attitude ikki xil deyapti. It's common for historians to play a major role to make in creating historical documents. Qani ko'ramiz. Commonmi, common emasmi deganini topishimiz kerak menimcha. Va oxirgisi emas ekan. Articles in American History Review have explored aspects of modern history through popular films. Zamonaviy historyni qilibdi. Developments in technology influencing a range of academic subjects. Xo'p, endi har bittasida iloj boricha, endi savol turlari kam bo'lgani uchun odatda menimcha qiyin ham bo'lmaydi, xudo xolasa, sababi bitta paragraf tugatamiz, mana A ni tugatamiz, hammasiga qarab chiqamiz, tamom? Oson, mana bu savol turi orderda ketadi. Mana bu savolda hammasiga qarab chiqaveramiz. Let's go. All right. The development of this new form of communication is leading to a growing gap between the practice of professional historians based in academia and the practice of those aiming to popularize. İkilasi o'rtasida popular audiencelar haqida deyapti-ku, qani borida ham hamchi. Mana bu joyda. Right, to encourage people to create their own records of the future. All right. Hope. On the one hand, there are mainstream academics who continue to use only written words as they examine more and more fields with an ever-increasing number of sophisticated methodologies. On the other hand, film and video, especially broadcast on television, are probably the major influence on the public's consciousness of history as they film events of 50 years and hundreds ago, even events they had previously only read about. Hope, mana overview of range of methods yo'q. The main reasons are unwilling to'ligini bilamizmi? Nima uchun ishlatmayotganini? Reference to some great differences between oral and written communication. Written communication bilan oral communication farqini aytdimi? No, most citizens again ko'p citizenlar. How current student active events that advantages and a grantor claim that there's no official title. Active role, auditorial role haqida ham hamcha 27dan 35gacha javoblar yo'q, to'g'rimi? Sizda ham fikringiz shunaqami? What does how most citizens today gain understanding? Mana bu joydan bo'lishi mumkin haqiqatdan ham. Yes, to'g'ri. Mana bu joydan bo'lishi mumkin. Right, the practice of study history among the general public. All right, so here 30 could be, again, we need to be willing to change our ideas. The needs of students in school have led to students in schools haqida bormi? In a related development, a great many people now document local and family events in the forms of videos. All right. The major influence on the public's consciousness of history. Probably the major influence on the public's consciousness of history is the film of Hindus they've had previously. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a nice location too. In a related development, a great many people now document local and family events in the form of videos. Many schools too produce video yearbooks, right? Ko'plab odamlar hozir o'zini oilasidagi eventlarni maktablar esa nima qilar ekan, yearbook qilar ekan. All these visual records may well prove to be an invaluable source of information for future historians. Exactly. The glaring contradiction is that the two approaches, the academic and what might term the popular, have intersected very little. Juda kam intersect qildi, qo'shildi. With a few notable exceptions, professional historians have tended to avoid involvement in television programs about history and have less impact on what's being captured. And the potential of moving image has wielded negligible influence on the academic study of qisqasi biratlar qo'shilmabdi. Xo'p, birinchi 36-37 ham chiqdi menimcha bu joydan. An overview of range of methods. Historyda aytdimi yo'qmi? Yo'q. 28 the main reasons are unwilling to use. Nima sababligini bilamizmi? Xo'p, ishlatmaydi dedi. To'g'ri, lekin nima uchunligini aytdimi? Nima uchunligini? 31da. I mean 29, 28 to'g'ri. Historians unwilling dedi. Lekin mana qarang, historians have tended to avoid them dedi, ya. Degani unwilling degani, lekin main reason bormi bizda? Xo'p, davom etamiz. 29 reference to some differences, no. but how current student events are sometimes captured for future audiences. How current student events. mana shu joydan bo'lishi mumkin, right? 31. 32 mention of the advantage of disadvantages. King is a claim that there is no official title. Audience, list of requirements. Xo'p, bizada javob bor. Bo'lishi mumkin hozircha. 31 bilan 31 bo'lishi mumkin mana bu joyda. Chunki mana bu joyda yearbooklar haqida gapirgan. All right. Yearbooks haqida. Xo'p. Keyin 36 bilan 37 ham bor menimcha. Popular qilaydigan odamlar menimcha bemalol ishlatyapti, to'g'rimi? Have intersected very little deganda, demak, deyarli birga kelmadi deyapti. 37 o'z-o'zidan javob nima bo'ladi 37 ga? Yes bo'ladi. All right, menimcha yes bo'ladi. 38 ga keladigan bo'lsa 36 not given bo'ladi. All right. 36 not given, 37 yes bo'ladi. Xo'p. So this gulf can be, bu difference degani, can be seen as resulting from the willingness in otherwise individual historians to accept validity of new forms of communication in the study of history. Bu farq individual historianlarni willingnessdan yoki bo'lmasa yangi formlarni qabul qilmasligidan. The study of this is not the first time the question has arisen. The study of history has convinced that began the transition from oral to literate culture, leading to earliest written records and earliest historical study. The next great shift came with the advent of printing, which transformed everything. Today, as the printed word loses its dominance, historians are faced with a variety of forms of communication ranging from blah, blah, blah to computers. As yet, however, oh boy, biga qaramadingmi yo? Billamay ketdingmi? Yeah. Next gear shift came with the printing, right? Yet, however, the use of moving image to record events of the future historians does not have a commonly agreed name. Yana bitta javob bor ekan. For the benefit of future does not have commonly agreed. Ikkitasi javob bor ekan. 27 C bo'ldi. Chunki mana bir boshidan birinchi oraldan literaturega o'tdi. Keyin printingga o'tdi. Va oxirgisi mana bu joydan bo'ldi. Bu esa 33 bo'ldi. 33 ham mana shu joydan bo'ldi. 33, 27 butun tekstdan bo'ldi. No. Qarang 33 ga qarang, 33 ham bor. Right? Yigirma sakkizga nima bor? Aytgan yo'q-ku. Qaysi gapni oldingiz? Boshqa narsa deyapti. Bular feature of historians, ular commonly agreed name yo'q deyapti. Foydalanish xohlamaydi degan gap yo'q. 38 no bo'ldi. 38 no bo'ldi. 38 mana bu joydan bo'ldi lekin. Buni oldingi paragrafdan. Paragraflar bordik biza. Have less impact what's being captured and preserved on video. Shu uchun javob nima bo'ldi 38? No. All right. Nima uchun oligini tushundingizmi? They have less impact on what's being captured. Davom etamiz. This does not mean that mainstream historians have totally rejected the use of This does not mean that they rejected the use of moving images. The majority seem intrigued by the idea. Valuable research has been carried out to the history analysis of films, using them as a source of information. Journals such as have played a significant role in this field. Ya bu yoqda javob. Shoshilmang, nima shoshilasiz? 28 yo'q, bu yoqda 39 bor xolos menimcha. I think that's true, yes, using them as a source of information on the social and intellectual history of 20th century, that means modern history. Aspects of, all right, the answer is going to be yes for 39. 39 da aytyapti. Mana qarasangizlar, 39 da. Aspects of modern human history and explore qildiryapti kino orqali. Shunaqa qilganlardan bittasi American Journal deyapti. Uni oldin aspektlarni aytib ketgandi. Shuning uchun yes bo'ldi. Yet the number of historians using moving images in their research or teaching is very small. Mana endi topishimiz mumkin 28 da. 28 demas lekin boya. The barrier seems to be that the profession is structured around the medium of written word and somewhat isolated in its academic setting. Mana shunda manimcha 28 iyi bo'ladi endi, to'g'rimi? Chunki written work bilan bog'liq ekanda ularni ishi. Shu uchun ekan, shunga structure qilgan ekan. The use of moving presents substantial challenge to the setting. Its assumption as a result, historians have rejected the training institutions in the move positions will need to be in order to use moving images. Above all, they have rejected the necessity to learn complicated new skills. Xo'p, yana javoblar bormi birontasi? Menimcha 35 ham bor, ha? 35 ham. Mana bu gapdan olingan. Qarang, list of requirements degan mana shular, right? List of 35 iyi bo'ladi. O ikkita C, ikkita I chiqdi. Hozircha. So why shouldn't historians make this change? Clearly, films, videos, events, people can be used as solid evidence of the past, linked to the words of the narrator, whether a television presenter, historian, university giving a lecture, but carrying information on their own right. Film has reinforced the oral form as a mode of research and communication for documenting historical events. Xo'p, nima uchun historian shunaqa o'zgarish qilish kerak? Nima uchun kinodan foydalanish kerak? Well, mana bunaqa shunaqa narsalar solid evidence sifatida foydalanish mumkin narratorda, but carrying information in their own right. Film has reintroduced the oral form as a mode of research and communication for documenting historical. Now, with moving image, people are reminded that oral communication is not limited to words. It also includes body language, blah, blah, blah. Little of this evidence is written transcript. Farqini aytyapti. Shundan kami bor written transcript degani qaysi savolda farq haqida so'rayotgandi? 29 ga nima bo'ladi shunda? 9 ga F bo'ladi. Hope a further effect of video film is that narrator gives up some control, less need to give explanations while the writer becomes involved in the process of interpreting. Boy, 31 to'g'ri ekan. Do'stlar, mana 31 ga mana birga qo'yib qo'yamiz. 31 nima deb yozamiz? 31 B bo'ladi. Shunda bizda bitta qolib ketadimi? Nechta qolib ketadi? 31 menimcha 31 bda 29 emas. Mana yana bitta javob chiqdi. Yana bitta javob chiqdi. 34. Reference to active role audience plays degani mana bu yerda viewer becomes involved deyapti-ku, qarang. Viewer becomes involved degani, right? Active role audience plays. Shundan 34 yana bitta F chiqdi. Qizig'i, ikkita F, ikkita C, ikkita E chiqdi. All right. Finally, film or videotape can also aid historians by simplifying work or the interviewer. All right. Instead of trying to carry on interview while simultaneously making notes about setting, this kind of new historian can concentrate on the interview itself and study the film later. The many benefits of moving images as historical, the effects outweigh. Endi bu oson berib qo'yibdi buni. 32 nima bo'ldi shunda? 32 G bo'ldi. Hop. 32 G bo'ldi. 40 40. Not given, right? In academic subjektlar ta'sir qiladi degani yo'q. Bu yerda oxirida aytgan gap moving image deyapti, historical research sifatini oshirdi va tarixchilarga yangi yo'nalishlarni explore qilishga tavsiyalar beryapti. Lekin menimcha academic subjektlarga, arxeologiyaga yoki tarixga oid tarix, san'at tarixi degan narsalarga ta'sir haqida gap yo'q deb. Overall, menimcha zo'r passage ekan, qiyin passage. Oson emas. Oson emas, chunki mavzu oson emas. To'g'rimi? Mavzusiga qarasangiz, oson mavzu emas-da, nima deydi? Odatda bunaqa topiklarni discuss qilmaysiz, shu uchun konkretni gap yo'q. Shuning uchun oson emas. Hamma narsa abstrakt gaplar. Menimcha hammasini to'g'ri topdik. Hammasini menimcha to'g'ri topdik. Yo, tableda men sizlarga qilib tashlayman. Portlistlarni hammasini tashlab berasizmi? Hammasini alright, bugun tugasa kerak, hammasini tashlab beramiz. Alright. Do'stlar, mana shu joyda biz siz bilan darsimizni bugungi qismini yakunlasak bo'ladi. Alright.